Saturday, April 5th, or April 11th, we'll get it, April 11th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. Picture yourself in a cage and understand that the door to the cage has always been open, and you're in this cage. And the sky has always been there for us to explore. Now, how many of us don't know that the door is open while we're in the cage? That we don't even see it open, so that we can literally spread our wings and be free. Also. So, a lot of people will experience this life not knowing or being aware that the door to the cage has always been open. It's always open. But many don't even bother to look because they're so involved and configured and tied up with what they're experiencing and the different avenues they get taken off with. And it can happen to the best of us. We reach a stage in our journey where we lose the spiritual plot and we begin to struggle with our lives. It's no different than, I don't know if you've ever seen it where you see a spider gets caught in its own web or the bee gets stuck in the pile of honey. We can find ourselves feeling trapped in a potentially enjoyable life situation that we created. So we find ourselves trapped in a potentially enjoyable life situation that we created. How many of us have found ourselves in that position? And we can easily forget that we have the power within our minds to choose a different perception of reality, a new paradigm and perspective on the way things are. No one else can do that for us, only we can do it. The solution, however complicated it may seem, is really quite simple, but we complicate it. We decide, we choose, that we just need to stop struggling against life, against others, and use our imaginative power to approach it in a way that opens our hearts and brings a feeling of peace deep within. And people say, why do I feel stuck in life? Well, I feel like I'm just kind of stuck or blocked. And it's usually because of one fundamental reason. The mind is getting caught up in its matrix of desires. And when the mind becomes attached to its tapestry of desiring thought, it turns them into demands upon life. And it begins living in the land of yearning and forgets all about learning. You ever found yourself in that position where your mind becomes glued to the tapestry of desired thoughts, and then it turns them into demands upon life, and then you begin living in the land of yearning and forgetting all about learning. I don't think any of us are exempt from that. And the mind stops wondering and exploring and discovering who we are. And what satisfies our soul and truly makes our heart sing. So it's directed to yearning for all kinds of things. And it stops wondering and exploring and discovering. And that's what really, truly makes our heart sing. So it's just understanding your mind. Now, we're not talking about ego mind. We're talking about mind. the mind has a tendency to get stuck on certain desires. It thinks will satisfy its soul. And so it ends up playing it safe, hiding, pretending, lying, playing games, and sticking to what is comfortable and known. I'm sure that all sounds familiar to many of us. It ends up playing it safe, hiding, pretending, lying, playing games, and sticking to what is comfortable and known. It thinks it will find security by repeating what made it feel secure yesterday and the day before. What is this? This is a definite move into the past to keep revisiting things that made the mind feel secure yesterday and the day before, and so on and so forth. Now, the mind ends up losing sight of its dreams and following everyone else's desires, plans, and wishes instead. Our minds end up losing sight of its dreams, following everyone else's desires, plans, and wishes instead. We get caught up in others' desires, everyone else's desires, not ours, everyone else's, and their plans and wishes instead. And whenever we forget who we are and what our heart truly desires, the only direction to turn is within. And we choose, we must shift our attention to our heart, to the very center of our being, and simply rest there. And by relaxing deeply, naturally, and peacefully within, we heighten our awareness and increase our experience of consciousness. Isn't that wonderful? This allows us to take in and enjoy the soothing, refreshing, healing qualities of our soul, of our God. We can search and search and search a lifetime after lifetime after lifetime for satisfaction in the outer world. And the truth of the matter is, we will never find it. And the only thing that truly satisfies and heals us is being connected with our spiritual essence. And when we are one with it, we are no longer living in doubt, worry, or fear. That's automatic. You will know. People say, well, how will I know that I am literally connected with my true spiritual essence, with my God? You will know, and the immediate confirmation of that is that we no longer live in doubt, worry, or fear. Stress, anxiety. We are no longer seduced by any thought, good or bad, for that matter. You see, we're separated from our thought. We are in the heart. We are not in the mind. So we're separated from it. So, in other words, the mind we leave alone. The heart is where we go. And that's how we're no longer seduced by any thoughts, good or bad, and for any matter. We're simply not entertained nor interested in the mind's addictive tendency to follow every thought, every impulse, and fleeting desire. And we suddenly find ourselves becoming more open, becoming more curious, and unwilling to become attached to any desperate desire that comes to us. And we do. None of us are exempt from this, but it's the knowledge that we gain, the learning that we continue to experience, to know how to navigate. It is within our competence to think and become bound. you ever been able to cease thinking? I think a lot of people fear that. I don't know if they understand what it means. The first secret to revealing our true spiritual essence within our nature is pretty fairly simple. We just let go of all the ideas of what and who we think we are and see the truth of who we really are. And the spiritual truth of who we are is that which is beyond anything one could write on paper. It is an infinite conscious energy, pure consciousness that is behind and beyond the mind. And as we connect with this truth, all of our ego's desires instantly get sent to the back burner. We come home to the source of who we are in life and are liberated by the sacred divine blueprint of who we truly are. So we operate always in the heart, or we practice to be always in the heart. Doesn't necessarily mean that we will be in the heart all the time. Eventually, it'll be autopilot, and we will be there always. For some, to say, enter your heart, come from the heart, not the mind. A lot of people don't. What are you talking about? When am I supposed to crawl into my heart? It is emotion. It is feeling. It is how we flow in our natural state of being. Working from the mind is not our natural state of being. I know that sounds strange to many, but it is true. So the instant we do this, when we go into the heart, we suddenly realize that we are free. And we're no longer caught up in the mind, full of its stories and games. And that's what the mind is, full of stories and games. And we see the light that is always there within us, and which can never be lost, changed, or destroyed. I think people worry that maybe, what if it goes away? What if it is destroyed? Cannot be. We realize that our light was just temporarily covered over by the mind's complex and beautiful fabric of desires. And we unfold these mysteries or secrets to revealing the true spiritual essence is to know that our true spiritual essence is always here and now and ready to be revealed. The sun is always shining somewhere upon this world. Clouds, storms, nightfall will get in the way from seeing this brilliant clarity hidden inside us. Yet once we stop all efforting, pushing, searching, and scheming to find pleasure or fulfillment outside of ourselves, we then turn out attention within. We turn our attention within. And we must bring all of our attention, our focus and energy to the infinite source of love and awareness that we all know exists within, directly to the source of pure consciousness itself. It's good to know that when we first look inside ourselves, it is often a very dark, confusing, and murky experience. It's why a lot of people, they go in and at first they're not too comfortable with it. And we might feel like we're entering a dim candlelit room after lifetimes of playing games outside in the bright sun. And we may not be able to see anything beautiful until our eyes adjust. Our past pains, emotional traumas, and fears may be the only thing we see. Isn't that amazing? That's why a lot of people, when they really do go within, and you have a dim-lit, candle-lit room, and the only thing that you see in the beginning are your past pains, emotional traumas, and fears. And that might be the only thing that you see. And the mind's attention has been so focused, so much on getting desires met from the outer world, that our inner world will seem like a jigsaw puzzle with pieces that just don't seem to fit. Our eyes will need some time to adjust, and so we must be very patient about the time it will take us before our real spiritual truth becomes self-evident and clear. This here is where you are content and patient. So we must learn how to trust walking around blindly, using our sixth sense to guide us. We must trust one very important thing. The small, soft candlelight in our darkness, which is our consciousness radiating from the core of our being. And it is never, ever going to flicker or go out. Picture that. Visualize that. You walk into yourself, deep within. You go within. You enter this room. You see, and we've all been in dimly lit outer world situations, restaurants, or power goes out in the home, you light candles, usually. And so we know kind of what that feels like, what it looks like. And in the middle of that room, there is a candle, and the flame isn't flickering, isn't wavering. It's just, and you feel that flame is omnipotently powerful. You can feel the thing. You can feel it. Okay? As you focus eventually, and all of the things that you are met with to begin with, where before your eyes adjust, you experience past pains, emotional traumas, and fears. And then those may be the only thing you see in the beginning. But you know this. You know that, okay, so you're going to go in there, and if you see this, that's fine. No big deal, no expectations. And you realize that your real spiritual truth becomes self-evident and clear. And when you're in there, when you're inside you, in your heart, and that flame that you come across in that room, and you know it to be omnipotently strong and powerful, and we know it's never going to flicker out or go out. And it knows the way. And it will guide us all the way through to the very end. And it is our choosing. And in faith, we hope most, we must trust that our little light is bright enough and learn how to feel its gracious warmth so that we may use it to heal the darkness wounds lurking in our unconsciousness. Have you ever done this? Relax, because nothing is under control, so you just let go. A lot of us have a tendency to want to control everything. Specifics. I've got to control this. I'm not in control. I feel totally lost. I don't have any control. And a key part in the third secret to revealing our true spiritual essence is paramount, is having an infinite source of patience. See, when we get hurried, and we all do this, we get hurried, we don't have the patience, and we continually, through the mind, try to rush things. But when we begin looking inside, here comes the ego. The ego wants to have a special type of experience. It often has a hidden agenda about why we need to meditate and look deep within. Understand that. It does have, most of the time, a hidden agenda about why you need to meditate and look deep within. We must be willing to feel okay about never arriving anywhere safe, special, or sacred. That's not easy for some people. You mean to tell me that you're saying that if I choose to be willing to feel okay about never arriving anywhere safe and special or sacred when I go within? I thought that's the place where I'm supposed to just sit and be protected and everything will be under control. So when you go within, there must be a willingness to sit with your eyes closed in the dark for years. Well, that sounds strange. And embrace lifetimes and lifetimes of the greatest pain, horror, and agony that we uncover inside. We need a profound level of patience to dig through all the muck before we reach the gold. And this infinite patience is what allows our heart to slowly open and relax. See, it's like you're not dictated to by the ego mind. You're just not. You don't entertain it, and you just flow. This is flowing from within. You have no expectations. Your eyes are closed in the dark for years, and we begin to embrace lifetimes and lifetimes of the greatest pain, horror, and agony that we each, if we choose, in our own way and direction, to uncover inside. And that's where we come in with a profound level of patience to dig through the muck before we reach the goal. And that's what allows our heart to slowly open and relax. Our spiritual ego needs to have no pressure at all to find enlightenment or freedom. Okay? We must, we either choose this or we don't, but we must feel okay with having an infinite amount of time sitting in total darkness. And when there is zero rushing, zero tension, or zero urgency to arrive anywhere, the body, the heart, and brain begin to soften and feel safe to open. This is divine feminine space, and it allows us to truly feel the connection with our spiritual essence within. This is divine feminine space. Okay? So, when there is zero rushing, zero tension, or zero urgency to arrive at anything, the body, the heart, and the brain begin to soften and feel safe to open. And what is that? This is divine feminine space, and that allows each and every one of us to truly feel connection with our spiritual essence within. That's something. And the longer we can sit and relax with every burning desire to be free from all of our suffering, the faster grace will fall upon us. The longer we can sit and relax with every burning desire to be free from all our suffering, the faster grace will fall upon us. Now, we all know that the ego is very sneaky and slippery, and it will make your inward journey seem like in far more time than it should take. And eventually, the ego surrenders. Yet this usually is only after, are you ready for this? Usually is only after 48 minutes of sitting in silence with your eyes closed. Just like water will only come to a bubbling boil at 100 degrees Celsius. And the ancient yogis say it takes 48 minutes for the ego to relax, surrender, and come to peace. So when each of us find inner peace with our mind, our true spiritual essence reveals itself on its own. It happens. Just happens. And a miracle given from above. It is just it naturally occurs that when the murky water is not being stirred up, the muck settles and everything becomes crystal clear. We find clarity suddenly, spontaneously. And the very moment we are truly relaxed within ourselves, it is as if a gentle breeze has moved through our body, clearing away all thoughts and concerns. And we truly feel, honestly, at peace with every aspect of who we are and who we were. And, a real good one here for us, one quote from Rumi. I looked in temples, churches, and mosques, but I found the divine in my heart. Just like when we were taught to look up from above for answers, when all along, all the answers are within each and every one of us. And the next secret to revealing the true spiritual essence is following our path of gentleness, softness, kindness, self-love. And truly, the more often we each practice being kind to others, the easier it is to be kind to yourself and move through the muck you find inside you. Diving into your darkness can become extremely painful, time-consuming, or even torturous. So it is immensely helpful to have the gift of gentleness. And you practice being like a flower and allow for each experience you have to be whatever it is. Let everything be as it is. Don't react or resist anything. And let your heart open continuously to life, as if the warm sunshine was continuously pouring into you. Give yourselves full permission every morning to open up to the quality of self-love. Honor yourself. Respect yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. And let yourselves be whatever character in this grand play that our God has created us to be. We are perfectly, exactly the way we are. Perfectly, exactly the way we are. We are perfect, just the way we are, in this very moment, in this very now. We must be present to the doubts, fears, and negativity of the mind. Yet, we do not buy into its gruesome stories. We allow the pain to be there. We feel it. We breathe into it. Yet, we dive deeper through it and into the divinity. And this is inside the healing heart and the divine core of our very souls. And when we allow ourselves permission to love ourselves unconditionally, deeply, eternally, no matter what, we feel wonderful. This love is not because of any reason or attribute we have or don't have. We are loving ourselves simply because it feels wonderful. Our love for us, for each of us, your love for you, is a reflection of who you truly are. And as each of us choose to open the self-love gates, we will find out that there are deeper parts inside us that need to be loved. Learn to love all parts of you, and let this self-love shine upon this world. It becomes extremely helpful to have others in your life reflect your love back to you down the long haul. And when each of us look at our friends and family with eyes of self-love, they see this and they feel love, your love, is beaming into them. And what you then see is their sparkling eyes of love upon you. Get your self-love engines churning by dwelling on all the moments of love you felt in your life. Think about who loved you, how they loved you, and how you received this love. Notice what softened you, held you, opened you to the greatest sensations you've ever had in your life. With love as your guide, your inner exploration will always be successful, and you will always find your way easily through the darkness. Night. Love demands everything of you, yet don't be afraid. Go into it. Osho. This love inside us is what ignites our path and natural ability to create into reality, manifest any future that we desire. We can have anything we want with love, and we only find resistance and fight without it. In a life without love, we tend to fall into possibility amnesia, believing that we are limited, disempowered, helpless beings who are not connected to an infinite source of creativity, energy, intelligence, and power. A loveless life leaves us stranded in a barren, dry desert of the mind. And the great oasis we all yearn to find and drink from is the source of unconditional love, deep, eternal love, and which is this small candlelight inside your being. And by meditating on the awareness within you, the source of this awareness, this great love will reveal itself in time. And we all know its arrival because we'll feel the softest healing, sensitive feeling, softest healing and sensitive feeling, which melts away our armor, opens our hearts, and liberates our imagination. There is nothing out there in this world that satisfies the soul and assists us in lighting the path ahead more than the pure 100% natural, organic, homegrown love. Whenever we manage to love without expectations, calculations, or negotiations, we have indeed found heaven. Whenever we manage to love without expectations, calculations, or negotiations, we are indeed in heaven. Really. If any voice in your head gets in your way, be patient with it. Let it speak and empty itself out. Just know that any forceful or dominating energy is always coming from pain. Listen to your heart. Know that the God is right there, right now, in everyone and everything. Yet know we are arriving when we feel we are lacking nothing, when we feel we are giving ourselves a warm, cozy hug all day long. There is no more amazing way to live your lives than this. So take your time this year to truly dive deep and look honestly within. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing we want to do is relax our bodies. We relax our bodies by letting go of everything, all of it, all of the stress, all of the worries, all of the fancies, all of the desires that the ego mind continually throws at us. Just surrender it all. Let go of everything. Feel it wash away, literally. And as you do this, the body will respond, and it will begin to loosen and relax. Shoulders will drop. You will feel pressure alleviated from the cervical spine, lower lumbar. You will feel light. You will feel unencumbered. So as we relax the body, we move into the now. And the now is what we have and always will have. And that's all we have. We do not have the past because the past has already been traveled. We have already created the memories and experiences. So therefore, it is no longer. So we focus our attention on the now so that we can create the future that we desire for ourselves. And the now stills the ego mind. So the chatter, the ego mind retires. We no longer have it there throwing all the chatter at us as we go deeply within and we find the light on the table in the room. And the light on the table in that room, that candlelight, is the God. And we also we need to breathe. We breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. And as we breath in through the nose, we bring the air, the frequency, the energy. We want to bring it up easily through the center of the body, starting at the sacral chakra. So we go from the groin, we go right up through the center of the body. And we go right up through all the chakras, all the way up into the throat chakra, all the way up into the crown chakra, all the way underneath the skull cap, and right above the pineal gland. And then we literally compress that into pure liquid frequency energy. And then we let it go as we breath out. And it begins to saturate the pineal gland. The pineal gland begins to open and blossom. The pineal gland is the gateway to all particles of existence and beyond consciousness. So we continue to do this. And we do it again. So we pull it back up. It comes over and it saturates the pineal. It comes back down as we breath out. And we bring it back up in. And we continue to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. And we all know that the ego mind is there to try to trick us and do slippery things to get us bucked and caught in the things that it desires. And we are aware of this. Therefore, we don't entertain it. We walk right through it. It can try to do anything at once, and we can just look at it, walk through it, and it will finally get the message, and it will be retired. And you can do this when you go inside yourself. As we have found for many, within 48 minutes, you will literally still the ego mind. And I will tell you one thing, it is absolutely phenomenal. And you want to visit it as much as possible to experience that within. Now, we operate in the heart mind. And we know that the kingdom of God is within us. And that God is the light from that candle on that table in the room that you enter that is dim lit. And you know that that light, which is the God within you, is so omnipotently powerful just by being in the presence of that flame. You will know. So you're one. We're all one. And we all are very conscious and aware that we are the hive highest and deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. We have others with us who are immediately at our side. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the archetypes. All of them. This is a civilization that vibrates at a higher frequency than we do. They have been around since the beginning. They love us, and we love them. And they also are very much consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. And as many as 50, 60,000 can surround us at any one time, one of us. They can take up little space in great numbers because of the vibrational frequency that they are at. We have the Ascended Masters. We have Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sanata Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, many, many, many more. And they have ascended out of physical form and hold their God form, which is pure energy, pure deep eternal love and gratitude, and pure consciousness. They assist us constantly. They are with us. They are also aware and conscious that they are the highest and deepest eternal love from the highest and deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. We're all one. We're all here together. So arm in arm, hand in hand, we form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. This halo, this ring, this circle of light is so vibrant and so bright that it grays out the darkness of space. And it is purely deep eternal love and gratitude, and it is literally pure consciousness. So as we do this, we begin to levitate up above the planet. And as we levitate up, this light that we are, and the gods that we are, saturates the entire planet as we continue to move up, on it, in it, above it, below it, and all life. And we begin to see this gossamer field appear, which gives us a feeling that it has always been there. And it has all these brilliant colors reflecting and glittering, as if through a sheer veil that you can barely see through. And the shimmering of these brilliant colors, the emerald green flame of healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. The violet blue purple light of firelight of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds us of our power, our strength, our resolve. And then we have the purple transmuting flame. This is a column that reminds us that if we ever lower our frequencies into the lower survival matter frequencies, we can bring that purple transmuting flame in, and we literally can transmute any lower dark matter frequency into neutralized substance and immediately send it back to the pure consciousness of creation, source creation, bright central sun, for repurposing. And we also are reminded of the violet ray column that we can bring right in behind the purple transmuting flame and purify the area where once those low frequencies were, which then brings us into perfect balance of the highest and deepest eternal love and frequency. We also have the white fire. This column reminds us that this is our armor. It vibrates at such a high frequency because it's pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. So low and dark matter frequencies cannot sustain even for a split second in the vicinity of our armor. And the only way they can is if we choose to lower our frequency enough to let them in. And we already know that we have a massive arsenal to eliminate them in a blink of the eye and to rebalance ourselves into higher frequency. We have the golden light, pink light. This is the deep eternal love that we're all made of. It is pure consciousness. And it reminds us of our perfection. It is a column of our divinity, of our existence, of our God. So we continually move up, and we see this massive column that we've created. It's massive. And it's shimmering in a kind of an aurora of colors, and it literally is flooding, cascading from every angle of it as its point is terminated, and it literally floods all. It floods all life on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia. It floods everything in the solar system and beyond with pure, deep, eternal love and pure, deep, eternal gratitude. And we continue to levitate up. Those of us holding physical form, step outside our bodies. And as we step outside our bodies, we float above the body, immediately call out to all the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, bliss, joy, peace, generosity, humbleness, benevolence, and tranquility. And they come in the Guga plexus. See them in your heart mind. Visualize the movement coming from every direction. As far as you can see, continuously moving in. And their gods with our gods with theirs, arm in arm, hand in hand. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, and beneath Earth. There are many, many, many of these civilizations, and only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence, and they come. They come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we are all one, and we are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere and continues to intensify and continues to expand. We call upon all of the galactics, all of the off-worlders, many, many, many civilizations. And just to name a fraction of our familiarity with them, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, and the Sirians. And only those that are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest, deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, benevolence, tranquility, and they come. They've been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment. in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. Their gods with our gods with theirs. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they are with us now in this meditation, in this circle of lightness now. They are of the highest of deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere and continues to intensify and continues to expand. We call upon all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They are of full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, kindness, gentleness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. And they join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They are of the highest and deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere and continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms: on, in, above, and below this planet, Earth, Gaia, and this now, and this meditation, this circle of light. Only those who are consciously aware that they are the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest, deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And just to name a fraction of them, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the dwarves, the gnomes, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. And they come in the trillion shapes, colors, size, forms, configurations, of many of which we have never seen before. And arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs, they join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are the highest of deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's set center circle. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. All in the highest and deepest eternal gratitude and love. Literally flooding us, our biological forms, our etherical forms, from head to toe, inside and out, around us, above us, and below us. We feel this flood. We walk into the room within. we see the candle on the table, we experience the power of that flame. We know innately that it can never be diminished, that it will never go out, that it is eternal. It is the eternal flame of the God within each and every one of us. It is the God, the eternal flame. And it gives us the openness to literally walk through all of our fears, worries, stresses, anxieties, any darkness, any unknown, any pain, any sorrow, any anguish. And it opens us up to the heart within, to bliss and joy. And we just flow. And the mind, the ego mind, retires. And we are one with our God, the light, the candle on that table. And we look upon this planet Earth, Gaia, and we see all of our brothers and sisters, all of the civilization on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, and this now, in this meditation, this circle of light, and we flood them. We have our massive column that we've created. It is larger than the solar system. It cascades and it saturates and floods all. And it gives us, it lends us the opportunity to truly go within deeply and to sit at the table with the candle that holds the light of the God within us. And we all relax into that knowing, into that God. And all of the chatter, all of the external authority, all of the pressure, all of the worry, all of the fear, watch it as it will disappear. I'll join you in meditation and I'll return to close us out. take this with you, the vision, the visual in your heart mind of the candle on that table within you. And see how that room is dimly lit. And here, with patience, you'll be able to release and walk through all of those things that you dare not visit with you. This is the deepest way to surrender and forgive and to fold in to the peace and the gentleness and the kindness with yourself and your self-love and finding the true God that you are. Take it with you the rest of the day and the evening and night and the following morning. We will be back here Sunday, April 12th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation.